I wanted to take a moment to address this vote before we took the actual vote. Earlier this week, I sent around a memo to my colleagues communicating my position as it relates to the school board members and my intent today to vote no on the school board members. Having been a member of the education committee, being a current coach in the school district of Philadelphia, a parent of a student who attends the school district of Philadelphia, I wear a lot of hats as it relates to schools and our young people. And for me, the position that I sit in, I have a number of concerns. My first concern throughout the course of this initiative was the actual process in itself. We reached out to the administration to ask them to extend the deadline for nomination for school board members. That request was not met at all. We actually never got a response from the administration as it related to that. Once the nominees were selected in the past, there was a process predominantly led by our education chair, Councilmember Sanchez, to put us in a position to meet these folks and to have in-depth dialogue. And unfortunately, throughout the course of this process, that didn't happen. Since I've been on this legislative body, I've already taken a vote as it relates to city council members, and as it relates to school board members. And the first time I took that vote, I was very, very reluctant. And I was reluctant because I do not believe in the system that we have as it relates to a mayoral appointed school board. But I was convinced to vote for them by my interactions with Lisa Sally and Reginald Streeter, as well as Cecilia. And it's been a pleasure to work with them. They're all great folks. But at the same time, we don't always agree on the issues. I've reached out to the school board as it relates to Black and Brown-led institutions, specifically the closing of Black charters. We were assured that an investigation would take place. And while that investigation is taking place, we were assured that recommendations around Black-led institutions would not move the way they've been moving as of last Thursday. The recommendation from the charter office is one that's extremely disappointing. It's a complete contradiction to the work that we've been doing, and it's disingenuous to make such a recommendation prior to the independent investigators letting us know if these past practices have been discriminatory. On top of that, I passed the Keep It Local bill along with this legislative body, encouraging local government to help throughout the course of this recovery process by investing in local businesses. The school district of Philadelphia had a $66+ million contract to do cleaning. I sat on a 3-hour hearing and listened to the entire school board meeting and testified and asked that the school board revisit the contract and see what we can do to invest in local businesses. I know COVID has created some interesting conditions, but I don't know if those conditions have put us in a position where the people in Philadelphia have lost our ability to clean. So it's disappointing that that request was not met at all. It's disappointing that past requests have not been met. It's disappointing to learn that the school board is not supporting our janitors and engineers and bus staffers and student and aides who are asking for a specific type of training and support so they can do their job. So at the end of the day, this is not personal. Similar, what I'm saying in my testimony is that I've never met these folks who we are voting on as it relates to the school board decision today. So this is not personal against them. But I myself think that we need to move in a position where we're either going to have an elected school board or a hybrid school board, with those positions being a full-time job with the salary as well as benefits. So today I will be voting no on the school board members, and I just cannot support a system that doesn't have transparency, as well as a system that I don't believe in. I commend all the school board members for doing the work that they do, specifically because they're volunteers. I mean, it's a volunteer position and they do not get paid. So I commend them for that component of the job because it's literally a thankless job. But at the end of the day, I cannot continue to support a system that doesn't work, and I cannot continue to support a system that's not transparent and that's not accountable to this legislative body. City Council in the city of Philadelphia funds the school district in a matter that is so lucrative that we have sued the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania because they're not doing their fair share. The responsibility of education, according to the Constitution, lies in the desk of the state. And right now, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is not doing their part. And we're funding the schools in ways that we shouldn't have to. If we're going to step up to the plate and do that, the last thing that we should be worried about is transparency and accountability. So I'll be voting no. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, colleagues. And I want to give a special shout out to our Education Chair, Councilmember Sanchez, who has been phenomenal throughout the course of this process as it relates to working with the school district as well as the school board. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I believe Councilman O.